Hey everyone. I'm sure many of you have changed quite a lot during the course of COVID. I mean, it's quite often the case that crazy, rough times lead to growth for many of us. So in this video, I kind of want to just share with you how COVID has changed me, and in the hopes that maybe either you'll get something out of it or you'll at least be able to relate to some of the things that I went through as well, because COVID certainly has even changed myself way more than I realized and thought that it would. So let's jump into it. One of the main things that COVID has made me realize is it's shifted the way I view working. Before COVID, I used to have a goal of becoming like an executive at a company, working my way up from the bottom. I didn't want to be a CEO. I mean, I know I have the skill set needed to do that, but I don't view that as being fulfilling, because I know the amount of work you'd have to do and basically never be there for family, and I want to start a family, so that one wasn't going to fly. But I thought even rising up to like an executive at some corporation or marketing company or whatever would be cool. But now I've shifted to the point where I pretty much am working as much as possible to not have to work for other people. Or should I say, I'm working towards not having to work for others, because COVID has just made me realize that I really don't like working for others, like at all. It's not even so much like the money aspect or any of that, so it's not like it's because I believe I can make more money on my own. It's more that I love freedom so freaking much now, and to me, the value of freedom has just exponentially risen during COVID, because, well, one, we lost a lot of freedoms during the lockdowns and whatnot, but also it's made me realize how precious life is, because it's so incredibly short. I mean, I even know some people who lost their lives due to COVID, and that's just made me realize I don't want to spend my whole life working for others when it doesn't make me happy. So, like, if you enjoy working for others, that's fine. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing in general. I'm just saying I don't enjoy it, because I value freedom way too much, and anything that kind of detracts from my freedom really starts to take a toll on my mental health. And this is one of those situations where, yeah, I do not like the thought of working for other people my whole life, because of not having that freedom to do what I want to do when I want to do it. The money aspect, that will come with time. I'm not really concerned about that. I just value freedom immensely. So that's one change. I really don't enjoy working for other people anymore. But another thing is I really cherish my close relationships a lot more now. I'm sure many of you have had that same experience where COVID has just kind of made you realize who's important in your life and simultaneously who's not important. So you probably kicked some people to the curb who you realize weren't really adding all that much to your life. But with that, you've come to realize the value of the good people in your life. I mean, truth be told, I don't have many of these people in my life myself. So if you don't have many, that's fine. Like, do not ever feel bad for that. It's better to have a few quality relationships than a huge quantity of not so great quality relationships. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot of them, but it's made me realize their value and the importance of keeping these people in my life, which is why so often during COVID I made posts about that on Instagram, and even a few videos talking about, like, don't take people for granted, because if you do that you can lose them and you'll only realize their value after they're gone. Instead, you should work on realizing their value now before they're gone. That's the right way to go about it. So yeah, I mean, COVID has probably made all of us a bit more aware of who truly matters to us, and that's really important. Then the next thing I have here, this ties in with what I was talking about earlier already, but it's made me enjoy freedom even more than I did beforehand. Like, freedom's always been my main ideal in life, even before COVID, but COVID just really solidified that. Like, nothing is going to usurp freedom as my number one priority now. Nothing. Like, at all. Nothing will be able to get rid of that. It's actually gotten so bad that there are times where I wonder if my love for freedom will actually get in my way when it comes to dating. But I still do know I'll be willing to sacrifice some freedom for a great woman. But it's certainly made me question what qualifies as great now, because I just don't want to give up my time to just anyone anymore. I value freedom so freaking much. But along with that, COVID has made me realize, or not realize, it's made me enjoy doing things on my own even more than before as well. So having the freedom to do what I want to do when I want to do it, which usually means flying solo. Because so often when you include other people, it's a bit trickier to kind of schedule things and do the things that you want to do, because now you have other people who are involved in the decision-making process. So I love freedom so much that I just like doing things on my own now, because then I can do what I want to do when I want to do it, and I don't have to, for instance, stay at a bar for too long when I want to leave just because my friends want to continue staying, or things like that. Or if you're at an amusement park and you go on a few rides but then you start getting tired of it and you want to go home, but the group you're with wants to keep going on rides, things like that, where if you go and do things you enjoy solo, you don't have to answer to anyone. You can do what you want when you want, and that also means you can leave when you want and go back home in your own time frame. And I just love that now. I do so many things on my own, and COVID has really made me enjoy that even more. I already enjoyed it before COVID, but now it's just something I treasure even more. I love my me time and doing things that I want to do in my own timeline. So that's another important thing that COVID has made me kind of, I mean, like I said, it was already in my life before, but it's now even more important to me. And then the last thing that I wanted to share is that COVID has just made me prioritize my health more. Sure, yet again, many of you have realized the importance of this too, because that was one of the most, how do I put it? That was one of the few things during COVID that we had a ton of control over. We can always control our health for the most part. Like, we control what we put into our body, the food that we control whether or not we exercise or work out. That's health in a nutshell, pretty much. Those are the two things you need to work on. And yet so many people during COVID wanted to outsource that. They wanted the government to take care of the health, hospitals and whatnot. But by then, it's kind of too late. So COVID just made me realize that's something you should always be proactive with. You should not rely on other people to take care of you. I mean, it's really easy to do. All you need to do is learn to cook. Like, once you get that down, your health is in your own control now, because exercising isn't difficult. I mean, even frickin' walking counts as exercising. Like, anybody could do that. So you don't really need to learn a whole lot to do that. Granted, if you want to get into lifting weights, that's a bit different. But even then, the research you have to do, it's all available on YouTube. Just watch a few videos, you'll learn how to do specific exercises, and you'll be good to go. So cooking really is the main hurdle that stands in between most people and taking care of their health. But seriously, it's worth it, guys. Like, I meal prep, saves me a lot of time. Sure, kind of sucks to do it in the moment, but after the fact, you only need to cook like maybe, I think I cook maybe 2 or 3 times a week because I meal prep. So it's really helpful to do that. Then you won't have to cook all the time. So just be proactive with it. Find ways to make it easier for yourself, like meal prepping. Make all your meals in one sitting, so then you save time in the long run and you're having to cook less often. But it's just so important that you take your health seriously, because so many of the people who unfortunately passed away during COVID could have prevented that if they just took care of themselves. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It really is. It's something we have a lot of control over, but so few people want to put in the work necessary to maintain it. Just make sure you're not one of them, guys. It's really important. But yeah, another thing I'll add there real quick is just also look into vitamins and minerals. Getting your nutrients is super important too. So like, one thing I can recommend, get a good vitamin D3 and K2 supplement. I mean, literally the 2-in-1. I have a liquid form that I take with both of them. It's like a liquid solution. It's great. So D3 and K2 will help you out tremendously. Also take zinc and copper together, and then magnesium. If you take those 3 things, you're pretty much good. But you can throw in like a daily multivitamin along with it and you'll be even better. It's just important to get those. And I'd probably even throw in iodine as well. Many people kind of are deficient in that. So yeah, there you go. It's so important to take care of your health, guys. This isn't really a health video per se, but I just wanted to throw that out there because, yeah, it's important. But anyway, guys, those are pretty much the main things that I kind of realized during COVID, and ways my priorities shifted a bit, even though for the most part they kind of were the same before. It's just now they're even more rock solid and even more important to me. So yeah, I'm curious to see how COVID has changed you guys and what your priorities are, how they've shifted. Feel free to share that in the comments below. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like content like this, be sure to subscribe for more. Otherwise, like the video and leave a comment. Like I said, that's the easiest way you can help me out and help that algorithm. But anyway, guys, remember, we're all on this journey together. The most important thing is that you just keep going, keep moving forward, and we'll all eventually get through similar situations like COVID, because the world is always bound to throw some random crap at us, so it's best to be prepared for it. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Arrivederci.